Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world.
Good morning,
Hello,
Dr. Mati. How was your weekend? I know how our weekend went.
Ooh,
we were celebrating our favorite uncle, Myro Essay's baby dedication. We danced. If we can pull up those pictures. Good morning, Bimbai. I saw you in your beautiful yellow. Roofie on fire. I did not see you at the party, but I heard you were at the church. Yes, and Dr. Mati, I heard you were there. There you go. Hey! Can we all give Ayo a round of applause, please? Because this was such a beautiful party. She, dedicated her twins, and she thanked everybody at Arise News, including the chairman of Arise, Prince Nduka Obasanjo, and we really had a good time. Congratulations, Myro Essay. Really huge. That's why she's away today. Resting after all that dancing. That's all our Arise members dancing.
We want more babies in Arise News. May the blessings of procreation go round.
Yes. Amen.
Bimbai, our Naija wife, we expect more from you.
Coming soon.
Ojinika, your own blessings also still come.
More babies?
More babies.
You know I have a lot of babies already. Even here at Arise. Well, all right. Congratulations, Myro Essay. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending in Accra, Ghana, where Nigeria's former president, Goodluck Jonathan, declared that any leader who fails to perform should be voted out of office if proper elections are conducted. The former president was speaking at the 2025 Goodluck Jonathan Foundation Democracy Dialogue. He warned that democracy in Africa is going through a period of strain and risks collapse unless stakeholders come together to rethink and reform it. He described electoral manipulation as one of the biggest threats to democracy across the continent.
The problem in Africa is our electoral system. People manipulate the elections to be there by all means. If we are doing proper elections and if you are not doing well, people will vote you out. We may not even ask these questions. Because those who are not doing well, the population will vote them out. But in this case, people use government instruments to perpetuate themselves in power, even when the people don't want them.
He's absolutely right. Meanwhile, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, during the event, denied allegations that he sought a third term, saying that if he wanted it, he would have gotten it. Let's take a look.
There are still some stupid Nigerians who still believe that I wanted a third term. I think I'm not a fool. If I wanted a third term, I know how to go about it. And there's no Nigerian, dead or alive, that will say, I called him, I told him I wanted a third term. None. And I keep telling them that, look, if I wanted to get debt relief, which is more difficult than getting a third term, and I got it. If I wanted a third term, I would have got it. But some people believe that unless they are there, nobody else. They will even tell you that they haven't got anybody else. And I believe that that is a sin against God.
Wow. Let me take some reactions. This person wrote on X, "It's comments like this that really makes one wonder. Obasanjo is telling us to our face that the entire institution of state could not stop his personal whim, even when it violated the Constitution. Does he imply that even the incumbent can attain that goal if he wants it?" I mean, that's a pertinent question, because I saw El Rufai saying something about Tinubu wants to remain in power. Let me take another tweet. This person wrote on X, "I saw a post about Obasanjo talking about his third-term bid and saying he'll have gotten it if he wanted. But I remember 2006 differently. The infamous third-term agenda was put before the National Assembly as part of a constitutional amendment to extend presidential and gubernatorial terms for 2 to 3. When it came up in the Senate under Ken Nnamani's leadership, the proposal was flatly rejected. Civil society groups, religious leaders, student unions, and ordinary Nigerians had already reasoned against it. The fear was clear. A third term could drag Nigeria back into sit-tight dictatorship and block the principle of power rotation. Even Obasanjo's close allies abandoned him when they saw the tide. In the end, the Senate threw it out, and with it went any chance of tenure elongation. It was a victory for democracy. It proved that at least once our institutions stood firm against presidential pressure. I mean, that happened, Dr. Abati. Correct me if I am wrong.
Okay, see, one of the things that President Obasanjo said at that Goodluck Jonathan Foundation program in Ghana was that, look, the government of the people is the government of the people. He rejected the idea of, having a government of the majority, because it was also, some of the other things he said, asking for inclusion, asking for participatory democracy. In fact, he also gave that popular proverb that the problem with democracy in Africa is the practice of democracy, and that the insect that is dealing with democracy in Africa is the insect that is inside the democracy, the practice of it. So Baba also repeated that. But the controversial part of it that came out was not what he said about, electoral reform accountability, but what he said about third term. However, I argued earlier this morning that President Obasanjo threw a challenge that he was not involved in the third term gambit. That National Political Reform Conference of 2006 was to deal with substantial issues about the arrangement of Nigeria, about resource allocation and all that. But it was aborted on the basis of this this third term thing. In fact, the South-South caucus walked out of that conference, and that conference died, despite the fact that it was not backed by any legislation, any legal framework. However, now he says he was not part of it, so maybe it was a case of proxies. But one person has already come out to say Baba was involved in the third term, Dr. Usman Bugaje, who was on this program this morning. And he says he has evidence.
Correct.
So he has taken up President Obasanjo's challenge to say that no, President Obasanjo was involved in it. And I reminded Dr. Bugaje that he should wait for President Obasanjo's response. That evidence that he has, he will have to provide it. However, what is important is the role of the people in all of this. One of the gentlemen that you quoted said the people of Nigeria resisted it. And I think, to go back to the point about democracy being about the people, if the people don't want something, they will say they don't want it. And I recall that whether it was by proxy or by official sanctioning, Nigerian people rose and spoke in unison, media, civil society, that we don't want third term. Nigeria is not Rwanda. Nigeria is not Eritrea. Nigeria is not Uganda. Nigeria is not, I think, Zimbabwe. You people also try something in Zimbabwe. Nigeria is not all of these countries.
Mugabe did indefinite term.
Is it indefinite?
We currently have two terms,
all these
but they're
African
lobbying
countries
for a third.
where they review the constitution to extend limits.
Correct.
The most recent one is Chad. The Nigerian people say we want democracy.
Yes.
So this summon of that democracy dialogue in Accra, whether it was President Obasanjo or it was the guest lecturer, Bishop Kukah, or it was President Jonathan himself, or President Mahama, or Dr. Toure of the ECOWAS Commission, is that democracy must work in Africa.
Fantastic.
Democracy is in retreat. The voice of the people must be heard. Electoral reforms must be allowed. And we, the people, must be the one who determine what our future will be.
Well said.
So, in 2027, I hope people are listening.
Yes.
Because this is not just talk shop. It's about people listening and taking action.
Well said.
We thank God that tenure elongation did not happen in Nigeria. It must not happen here.
It must not happen at all. I was speaking about the speakers at that lecture. The Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Matthew Hassan Kukah, in his remarks during the Goodluck Jonathan Democracy Dialogue, advised Nigerians not to be deceived by what seems like quarrels between politicians. He explained that these feuds always end behind closed doors, where the politicians close ranks to share the nation's wealth. Let's take a look.
It's not so much the quarrels that politicians engage in. In fact, many ordinary Nigerians, including myself, continue to encourage our people. Please, when you see these politicians fighting, even if they are throwing chairs among themselves in parliament, don't kill yourself, because they will still close the door and distribute the money of state among themselves. In that area, there is no fight. So very often, many of us jump into thinking that, these politicians don't like themselves. No, they like themselves. Even armed robbers have common interests. So let's measure our enthusiasm, because very often we think that democracy is about to fall because our people are always fighting.
Armed robbers have common interests. Yes. You know how we say it, don't die in their war. Rufy,
you see me, I like empirical wawulence.
Yes.
I'm a wawulence person.
Yes.
Baba Obasanjo, he said he didn't want to Baba, now this country we did, you want them, God did not give you. That's just it. Because there were many contending factors then. You forget he was fighting Atiku Abubakar then. One of the biggest problems then was that he had too many people he was fighting. And that's why some people in his own party stood against him. Let me read an excerpt of an empirical interview done by Farouk Aliyu.
You have empirical facts?
Oh, yes, from Vanguard newspaper, 2009. They asked him, were you part of those bribed for third term? He said, no, I'm not part of those. But he further said, supporters of the project were paid a minimum of 50 million each. Some were offered 250 million. I know Honorable Ningi was with us. I was offered 400 million. And Speaker Milu Bello Masari 500 million. All the money was in cash, not in check, to support third-term agenda, but they all refused to collect the money. So, the way President Obasanjo is saying it, it's almost like somebody is trying to review history, like tell us we did not know happened. It's revisionism, Baba. We respect you for what you have done for this country, but let's not revise history in our face. You wanted third term now, and he's saying if you wanted it. And how does debt relief have to do with third term? Please, President Obasanjo, with due respect, for the fact that you got debt relief, doesn't have anything to do with third term. That if you could got debt relief, you'll have gotten third term. There was a global zeitgeist to forgive Africa and other nations that were debt-ridden their debts at that point in time. There was a global zeitgeist because the Fed was going to reset this economy. But the debts they forgave those countries then, they've gone and taken more basic. People like Nigeria. So with due respect, don't revise history for us.
All right.
The move was there. Bugaji has confirmed it. Many more people will come out and confirm. And which politician, if he said he truly wanted, if he wanted to get it, he would have get it. Which politician will see opportunity and not take it? And that's why we are crying. Because as at then, at least you had the National Assembly that was, firm, and because he had a lot of fight. With this National Assembly, I asked Somna Sambo, that this National Assembly that we see, so the National Assembly, is it not National Assembly that ratified the state of emergency for its vote?
On your mandate, we shall stand. Okay, all right. Well, all right.
This National Assembly, I beg.
All right, now. Well, let's go to Delta State now, where the Agbarho community is experiencing a rising number of missing children, particularly twins, and is appealing for government intervention. Parents like James Ritter and Vero Lucky, who reported their children missing, claim their efforts to find them have been frustrated by both community elders and the police. A community member, Okemute, stated that since the issue began 5 months ago, 52 children have disappeared, with the police allegedly demanding a 100,000 naira fee to investigate. The community is now urging Governor Sheriff Oborevwori to help them rescue the missing children.
They go for Mosque now, sef. Now inside Kukah, go station. They know they do anything. When we even go station, go report, that they said that they even pursue me for inside station, sef.
Now 4 children I get I get Ejime, I call born 211. So the Ejime, so they call carry one of the Ejime for June, inside the month of June. Now they take carry one. Now the boy be this 4 years old boy.
My pikin Wednesday here make her be 1 month now with the carry her. I beg, when I help her find the children, here what the children say. When I help us, I beg, not that it to born pikin. For carry pikin 9 months, not there easy. Not be say the pikin sick. Not be say I want to do her. Pikin their life. Just for my mom for they carry her. I beg, when I help us, I beg. They pay too much. They pay too much for us, I beg.
I don't report the police. No get another police even tell me say I leave my pikin go to a shower and they also for market. And they leave the pikin with her grandma. Our heart full of pride. And the community they don't do anything. They say our children know they miss. And our children they miss every day by day. They say our children know they miss.
Oh, this story broke my heart.
Oji, kudos to you for these videos because
Thank
you followed this story
and
you must get your due commendation. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
For this is your exclusive report.
Thank you very much. And thanks to Jemima Bullock for following up on that story. Now we are urging the governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oborevwori, to look into their plight. Vimbai.
Absolutely. There are so many moving pieces to this. The first is that there are reports of missing children, and the police are accused of wanting to be bribed to assist these families, which is just the most heart-wrenching level of cruelty, because I can't imagine that a parent would go to a police station and report that their child is missing, and you would start trying to extort them. Again, it's allegations, but if that is what is happening, then a probe needs to happen in the Delta State Division of the Nigerian police force, because that is unacceptable. That's number one. Number two is the fact that these women, beyond this report, Oji, this is not making news. It will now make news thanks to that. But the fact that the conversation is not being had, the fact that this type of thing, over 50 children are missing from a community, and we're all carrying on with our lives as if nothing is going on. For me, that's a very high level of concern, especially given the context. If you look at, I don't want to speculate around what may be happening. By God's grace, these children will be found and they will be in good health and they'll be reunited with their families. But we know the history, specifically for twins, when we look at some of the ritualistic practices that happen and some of the, can I call them witchcraft practices that happen with twins and with twin children. And for me, that's very concerning, because when you see a high number, if it was just some isolated cases, it means that there's a racket of some sort. Yes. It means that there's a bigger conspiracy happening around it. Now, how can there be a conspiracy that includes this number of children? We don't know where they are. We don't have any clues to their hideout. We don't have any trail whatsoever. There's no evidence. It's very, very strange. So again, I continue to urge the probe into any evidence whatsoever that can help us trace down these children and reunite them with their families, and also stern action and investigation to be taken into the police, members of the police force who are said to have been trying to extort this grueling, painful situation.
Absolutely.
I pray for the families, and I pray
pray
they can all
that
be
they
reunited.
find these children, and that's why I thought it was important to highlight this very, very important story. I can't imagine having a child and, you know, just, you don't even know their whereabouts, you don't know whether they're dead, you don't know what the story is, and it is happening in a community. It's called Agbarho community, and hopefully we get some response from the Delta State Police Command as well. Let's go to Kaduna now, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Friday officially commissioned state-of-the-art facilities at the historic Sultan Bello Mosque in Kaduna, marking a significant intervention by Tantita Security Services, Nigeria Limited, in addressing critical infrastructure gaps. The commissioned projects include a modern ablution center capable of serving 300 worshippers simultaneously, 50 restroom units with VIP sections, and a massive 300,000-liter overhead water tank designed to serve both the mosque and the surrounding Ngwan Sarki community. The president, who was in Kaduna to attend the wedding of former Zamfara Governor Abdulaziz Yari's son, praised the initiative as a powerful demonstration of unity and corporate social responsibility, transcending regional and religious boundaries. I mean, this is such an important story. I know the involvement of Tantita Security Services, chaired by former Niger Delta militant leader Tom Polo, in mosque infrastructure development represents an intriguing evolution for a company primarily known for oil pipeline surveillance operation. It also highlights the role of private sector actors in bridging Nigeria's infrastructure deficits, particularly in religious and community facilities. I mean, kudos to Tom Polo for this particular initiative. Dr. Pati, I'll come to you, but I'll take this story so you can tie it in together. Like I said, Tinubu attended the wedding of Nasiruddin Yari, son of Senator Abdulaziz Yari. The wedding, which has been described as both a social and political event, drew a large crowd of high-profile individuals, including governors, ministers, and traditional rulers. The president's aircraft touched down at the Hassan Usman Katsina International Airport, where he was received by a delegation of political heavyweights led by Kaduna State Governor Obasanjo. His convoy then proceeded to the Sultan Bello Mosque for the wedding ceremony, where he served as the groom's father. The event caused a significant political spectacle, with a large number of Tinubu's loyalists and supporters from across the northern region pouring into Kaduna. Their presence, waving banners and chanting pro-Tinubu slogans, created heavy traffic congestion in and around key areas of the city. Let's take a look.
Smelling nice, tobacco rapani. Oma wati makwe oma yorubani. Why see that oma alaji way that I be calling oma woman when me chagaban. Chagaban. They thought I was a foreigner, I'm a Bay Yorubani. I'm waving up these sessions like a Danny. Understand that tiny got me, cause anybody told it got me, huh? Working and I'm waiting on that big spin. Ain't telling mother travel big spin. And them boys steady waiting on that big spin. And I'm doing nice, so my nigga know you.
Well, congratulations to the beautiful couple there. Dr. Bati, over to you, tying both stories. We saw the crowd there in Kaduna because the president was there, but it was great to see that the mosque was revamped in that manner. I mean, right in time for this wedding. Go ahead.
Okay, very quickly, congratulations to the couple. Any man who finds a good thing,
yes,
they say in the Bible, is a very fortunate man. So we are happy, you know, that they have this wedding. But the political dimension of it, this is about the third time that President Tinubu is visiting Kaduna State. So obviously, he and Governor Obasanjo, they seem to have a very good relationship. So you've either he sends an emissary there or he goes there himself physically. And you could see all the political figures that were there. But a testament to, you know, President Tinubu's positive disposition towards the present dispensation in Kaduna State, and also Senator Abdulaziz Yari's own political influence. But you brought a point about the Tantita Security Services. There's a touch of irony there. This is a company involving oil pipeline surveillance, belonging to a man who at a time was known for his militancy. At that time, Chief Government Ekumunkpolo was known as General Tumpolo, fighting for the Niger Delta cause. And then he has transformed. Again, a lesson, subtle lesson here, that people can, in fact, you know, be rehabilitated. A man who was this today could be something else tomorrow. And you see that with that Tantita Security Services, he's doing what they call corporate social responsibility. Two, he's a Christian, but he's you know, providing facilities for the Sultan Bello Mosque. Sultan Bello, second son of Uthman Danfodio, and the second Sultan of Sokoto, you know, has that mosque, you know, named after him. And the people have been having issues with water in a place they call Ungwan Sereki, you know, and then in terms of facilities, now you find a man from the south, providing facilities in that same mosque in the heart of the north. Right. Kaduna is the capital of the north.
We were there together recently,
you
both
know,
of us.
And then you see him providing, you know, praying sections, providing water both for the mosque, which means that there's something that is important about unity.
I love that point.
Whether you are Christian or you are Muslim, all of us can work together. It's also a message here about corporate social responsibility, you know, giving back to society. And I guess this is not the only one that Tantita Security Services has done. So it's something that should be commended, to borrow a phrase from you.
Well said, Dr. Bati. Congratulations to Tom Polo and, of course, Nasiruddin Yari and his beautiful bride. Now, to our milestones. Today, we honor an extraordinary life, the life of Professor Onyade Elebute, a healthcare pioneer and visionary who passed away on Saturday, September 13th, at the remarkable age of 91, leaving behind a legacy that transformed Nigeria's private healthcare landscape. Born in 1934, Professor Onyade Elebute was much more than an academic. She was a trailblazer who co-founded Lagoon Hospitals, Hygeia Nigeria Limited, and Hygeia HMO while serving as a professor of physiology at the College of Medicine at the University of Lagos. Her story is one of courage, compassion, and an unwavering insistence on excellence that helped redefine what private healthcare could be in Nigeria. For over 9 decades, she championed standards that seemed impossible, nurtured teams that could carry her vision forward, and built institutions that continue to touch lives every single day. May her soul rest in peace. At 91, she had witnessed Nigeria's journey through independence, seen healthcare evolve, and contributed to shaping a better tomorrow for generations of Nigerians. The Elebute family has announced that the funeral service will be held on Friday, September 26, at the Chapel of Transfiguration at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital. She's survived by her children and other family members. Now to a celebratory milestone. On Sunday, September 21st, Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Remi Tinubu, marked her 65th birthday, a milestone that has drawn heartfelt tributes from across the nation, led by her husband, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Senator Remi Tinubu has carved her own remarkable path from Lagos First Lady for 8 years to a 3-term senator and now Nigeria's First Lady, championing causes close to her heart through the Renewed Hope Initiative. But it was President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's deeply personal tribute that captured hearts on Sunday. In a 7-paragraph love letter to his wife, Tinubu called her Oluremi me, my steadying anchor. He wrote on X, and I quote, "As you celebrate your 65th birthday today, I honor not only the love of my life, but also a woman whose quiet strength and enduring grace have been my steadying anchor through years of political exile, struggle, and now the highest office in the land. She has been my confidant, counselor, and the steadying flame illuminating my path. Nigeria owes you more than many will ever know. In every sacrifice you made quietly, in every burden you carried without complaint, you have served this country as surely as I have, not from the podium, but from the heart of our home."
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
So beautiful. Congratulations to the First Lady. Well, through her Renewed Hope Initiative, the First Lady has touched over 40 million Nigerian lives, embodying what her husband calls the true strength of womanhood, resolute yet tender, humble yet unshakably firm. At 65, She represents the graceful blend of private devotion and public service, showing that behind every great leader stands an even greater partner. Today, we at Arise News join the president and millions of Nigerians in honoring a woman who has served her country with dignity, grace, and unwavering compassion. Happy 65th birthday to Nigeria's beloved First Lady. Happy birthday. Of course, you know that she's my favorite now. She's been doing so well, and, we truly appreciate all the good works that she's been doing. You're smiling. I know where that smile is coming from.
The city boy is also a lover boy.
The city boy is a lover boy, really. I mean, she did not ask us to do milestone, but I told you that we will do milestone for her today. Well, congratulations. So I love that letter. Tomorrow we'll bring in more good news reports that we didn't take today. I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.